So hi everybody and welcome back to another of my kit review. This is a brand new firm, that I didn't know about the existence. It is this pilot replicas kit. It is a plastic model kit, and the subject is absolutely stunning, because they make in 1/48 scale the Saab J29F Tunnan. It was the early version of the Tunnan. They made all the version of this plane, and it seems an entrepreneur idea like the one that they had for the frames making the Macchi and B339 in 1/48 scale. So probably somebody from Sweden that had this idea to produce in China, because anyway they are made. There was the symbol replica Sweden. There it is, made in China. So somebody surely borrowed some molds, the production of some molds somewhere in China. As we know, all the people from Asia are currently the best around the world making molds of plastic models, and the level is extremely high. It's quite high also the price for the model, because this is being probably a kind of local company. They set a price in the range of the latest Asagava and Tamiya stuff, and they are really well done. I think the subject is absolutely interesting. I fall in love with the Tunnan after I see him in flight in an air show, in a local air show, and when I see that in the Swedish Museum of the Swedish Air Force in Gothenburg City Airport, Säve. And I was so surprised to see that this company featured basically all the missing plane of the Swedish Air Force. So this one, as well as the Saab 105, the trainer one that is still active in the Swedish Air Force, and I think also the Larsen they made it. So they have a lot of interesting stuff. So including the Viggen coming from Special Hobby or Tarangus model. This company and the one made by Asagava, like the Saab Draken, you basically have all the most important planes used by the Swedish Air Force and produced in Sweden. It's produced in Sweden. So this is Saab, is not F-16, F-14, something like that, American stuff. This is just the local stuff. The box is extremely well done. You see also the quality of the box, and the box art itself is really well done. They also place this kind of quality check control, that have to be cutted every time you want to open for the first time the box after you purchase it. And inside, let's see what we have. Very steady box, very nicely done. The quality of the plastic is absolutely really well done. So you have some engraved lines, some recessed panels, as well as some, you see, some details like this. Really finely well done. It seems like if it is coming from Trumpeter and so on, because the quality is very similar to them. They say on their website that you can find after pilotreplicas.com. They say that they are made all after 3D design print, and I understand it, because the sub-assembly of the model is really looks really well done. All this type of model reveal how they are really made when you start to build them up. But to be honest, I've seen a couple of this one made in the competition. They made it here in Sweden, and they were absolutely stunning. So the look was overall taken. The Tunnan was a kind of local F-86 Sabre, and it was extremely big plane, looked like a big piece of steel flying, and looked extremely well done. As you can see, the details is absolutely taken. You see parts like this. This is the division probably for the two different versions of the Tunnan. They were made, for the different configuration of the early, the first and the late planes. The transparent part are absolutely well done. Also, they have rivets on, and they are placed inside the plastic bags to avoid any kind of damage. there is kind of bit of parts, you know, to be kind of short little plane, you know. Also the wheels with the weight effect over, and yeah, the cockpit could be made better, you know. This is not so much, I don't know really. I took some picture of the tunnel, but I don't remember how it is made about the cockpit. Surely there is something more detailed than that coming soon for this. Also this one, as you see, the air brakes part, really well done. The landing gear parts. Also the seat is absolutely decently made, you know. Of course it's never something that you can get from racing parts and so on, but you see the details is quite nicely molded. And the final part, you know, the movable parts. All the wings are made in the way that you can make the flaps down in a kind of moved position. The same here, as you can see. Interesting that they leave that part like a kind of workable part at the end. It is really not so much used, you know, models. But it's overall absolutely very nicely done. I wish we had something like this back in time also for the Italian planes, you know, for the missing one of our Air Force. The instruction sheet is really well done, and is a little more than the ordinary paper and photocopy. They made this you see, kind of glossy papers with the paint scheme. It's typical from 3D models, you know. They have these kind of instructions, very modern, you know, with the numbers of the colors. You have referring part for Tamiya, Amber, Vallejo parts, and so on. But basically the plane was completely, this version was completely overall in silver and steel. Really well done, you know, absolutely well done. Color markings in with the day glow scheme. Very interesting. I chose this version because I like it more than in silver. It's more typical of the 50s and the 60s in my opinion, and they have a full English description for everything, so no worry if you cannot manage the Swedish language like I don't do. This is the decal sheet, and you see they provide also the day glow parts, the part from the front, air intake, really well done, as well as, like we see, they place the very few, honestly. Let's see if we can have it. This is a little bit disappointing, you know. I was expecting for a dashboard in photo etcher parts. Instead they prefer to place their own big logo pilot replicas there that really have not so much use, plus a quite unuseful seat belts set, you know. It was probably much better to have something for the cockpit inside this plane, you know. But that's it. I think it's anyway a wonderful idea, and allow you to produce something that was extremely rare and never seen before from the Swedish airports. If you, like me, like these ugly planes from the 50s and the 60s, they made a lot of Tunnan back in time, so it's possible to have a lot of documentation also coming from their museum, and I think it's absolutely worth the money they ask for. I paid this model something like 600 Swedish kronor, that is more or like 50 euros, so it's not cheap, neither so expensive, to be honest. To be a brand new model, this is stuff that arrived in, they market the box as 2015, so it's quite a recent stuff. It's not an old mold or something particular, and in my opinion is absolutely worth the money for it. So if you like Swedish Air Force, and if you like the 1/48 scale, that is probably the best scale for these subjects, simply take it, because this is absolutely a gem and a masterpiece, and I really hope they can go on producing other items for sure. I will also buy the others that they produce in this range, so for sure the other Saab 105 and the other that they do so uncommon for the Swedish Air Force. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next.